Hello, happy Friday. Don't know where you're at in the world, but it is very cold where I'm at. It's below 10 degrees. So I'm cozied up here in my basement. Wanted to come on today and talk about 3 things I did not learn in my yoga teacher training in regards to pregnant and postpartum people and bodies and minds. I am Lauren Anderson, the person around here at Mama Love Yoga, and I am a yoga teacher and an exercise physiologist. I have my master's degree in exercise science and personal trainer, a number of other certifications, and my bread and butter is working with pregnant and postpartum people. So 3 things I did not learn in my yoga teacher training. First one being, it's not just about the physical body. Mental health is super important. I don't think we ever touched on this, and I understand it's really outside of our scope of practice to address a woman's mental health and make any kind of recommendations or suggestions, but it's not outside our scope of practice to have connections in the mental health world and to be able to give out referrals and to notice when something is going on. So we often we hear a lot about, especially relaxing in the body. Don't overstretch your pregnant and postpartum clients. Don't do this, don't do that in regards to their physical body. But when we don't take into respect their mental health, we're just kind of we're really disrespecting or disregarding an entire aspect of that person in front of us. Pregnant women, pregnant people, and postpartum people are coming in and they're tired and they're going through a lot of change and they are having a lot of change hormones. They're not sleeping well. They're trying to figure out their changing body or a new baby and schedules, and the interactions between them and a partner or significant other might be changing, or interactions between them and their other children might be changing. It's stressful and it's overwhelming, and it can cause a lot of sadness and anger and all of the emotions. So if we're not thinking about those things when we're programming our classes or we're coming up with our classes for our yoga clients, we're really missing out on quite a bit. The second thing I was not talked about in my yoga teacher training is there's really no do's or don'ts in regards to a general population of bodies or physiologies. We hear a lot of don't back bend, don't twist, don't invert, don't do hot yoga. It depends on who you're working with. It really does depend. And so, instead of coming up with these strict do's and don'ts, it's best for us to get to know our clients, to understand the people walking through the door. And then if we do like to pre-write our classes, we don't do them on the fly, then we adjust for the people coming into class that day. Or we give them a wide variety of solutions to help them move or feel better in those positions. But simply leaving out back bends or twists or things that our body was made to do. Our spine was made to rotate. Our spine was made to extend. Our spine was made to flex. So forward fold, twist, back bend. Leaving that stuff out, as well as any other movement that our body was made to do, is just kind of glossing over or really keeping those people from moving the way that they should be moving. Because when we're home, we're doing all of those things naturally. We twist, we lean back, we bend forward, we do all of the movements that we're often told don't do during pregnancy. I wake up on my back, flat on my back, every single morning, and I've never had a problem all 3 pregnancies. I'm not saying that you should do that, but I do. And so everybody is different, every body is different, and we have to be able to adjust our strategies and our teaching strategies in order to meet those bodies. The third thing nobody ever taught me in my yoga teacher training about pregnant or postpartum bodies was that we really have to look beyond kind of the physiological basics. We hear a lot about relax and don't overstretch our clients. Yeah, okay, but what else is going on? We've got a whole array of other hormones fluctuating. We've got to think about things like hemorrhoids, pelvic floor health, breast tenderness. None of that was ever mentioned to me in a teacher training. And unfortunately, when you're working with bodies, they're experiencing so many different changes. For instance, if you're a postpartum teacher and you're teaching a class of new moms or a mommy and me class, and you've got a bunch of women in there who are breastfeeding, whose breasts are really tender, and you're having them lay on their stomach half of the class, they're not going to come back. They're not going to be comfortable, and they might not feel comfortable speaking up. These are the things we have to think about. Same thing with hemorrhoids. If you've got women in your class who have really bad hemorrhoids, it's really common postpartum, early postpartum, and later pregnancy, and you're having them do seated positions on bolsters and blocks where they might be really embarrassed to talk about it, they might just not come back. So going beyond the normal things that we hear about relaxing and stretching and muscles and ligaments and joints, yeah, that stuff is important, but it's not as important as some of the other more common physiological things that women are facing during pregnancy and postpartum. Not very many women tend to overstretch and rip ligaments, but they do tend to get hemorrhoids and breast tenderness. So those were my 3 topics. If you're interested in my yoga teacher training, I'm closing it at the end of the week. And I'm not going to be offering the consultation anymore. So the link to sign up for that is in the comments, and DM me with any questions. Join me. I'd love to have you. We've already had a couple of people join the class so far, and I'm really excited to have them. So come join us. I will talk to you next time.